time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Cassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Goalie. Nielsen, Cass, Gage, and Hernan Salas. As always, Two Guys and a Goalie is brought to you by our friends at CoolBet Canada. And sign up for an account today. Use the bonus code 2GUYS, 2, and the word guys. You get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. Sorry for the brief delay. I was having my internet switched over from Shaw to TELUS, the TV, the internet, whatever. And boys, I have to say, this TELUS internet is pretty quick, pretty smooth. Our streaming problems are over, boys. And we had the odd one, and we might jinx it. Who knows? Maybe it cuts out. But this is smooth, boys. I'm excited for this TELUS internet.
That's nice. That's nice. Maybe I should switch. I've had some thoughts.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, man. Gager, you were in this biz. That's how we met. You were my cable guy. I know this is I'm moving from Shaw where you worked over to TELUS. Do you still hold like a massive grudge against the TELUS guys or Shaw or what?
Well, there was a time, Dusty, that this whole conversation would vex me. I'd be severely vexed. But no, quite frankly, right now, I don't give a shit. Faster the better. I'm all about speed these days, Dusty. You know that.
Yeah, I do know that. I have a feeling like at some point we're going to have a meeting for you. Like, what's it when everybody comes together to like...
It's an intervention.
The intervention. We're going to have an F1 intervention for you, Gager.
Dusty, I put it well. It's not like I can put my kids to bed anymore, but last night I yelled out, "It's lights out in the Gage household!" And no one laughed. I thought it was hilarious.
I find it funny. I thought that was good. Hernan Salas, what are you still doing here? What the hell? I thought you were gone. What's going on here? Congratulations, buddy. If anybody's watching or listening to the podcast, Hernan Salas is moving on from the broadcasting side of things and going over to manage broadcasters, trying to get requests and things along those lines. Joining the Edmonton Elks. Hernan, tell us a little bit about your new gig, buddy, and when are you done with us? What's happening here?
Yeah, joining the media relations team there with the Edmonton Elks. I start April 4th there, so one more week. You guys are stuck with me and my terrible takes on the Edmonton Oilers. I'm truly going to miss it, though. You guys, I appreciate you guys bringing me on during COVID, because when we started, I was behind the scenes producing, just laughing at Gager's jokes all the time, and truly appreciate you guys bringing me on, putting my ugly mug on here, and like I said, me putting in my 2 cents twice a week. So I appreciate you guys. Going to miss you guys, but Dusty, like you said on the morning show, it's not like I'm going away forever. Like we'll see each other and hang out and have some beers. So excited, guys. A little sad to be leaving the radio and the podcasting world, of course, but excited for the new gig.
You're such a professional now.
Yeah, you can't be wearing those hoodies into work anymore. You might have to go.
You're going to be suit and tie guy.
Yeah, this is.
I've decided though. I'm going to be a Mercedes guy, Gager.
Oh,
it's official now. Look at this. He gets a job with the Elks, and all of a sudden he's a Mercedes guy. Interesting.
I was going to go with my boy Lando, but seeing that first race, I'm staying away from McLaren.
So. Are you going in full Toto Wolff with the white dress shirt with Elks plastered all over there and stuff? I can't wait. I
am going to be exactly like Toto Wolff, but in the CFL.
The whole CFL's got a target on their back, Hernan. Cass, you said your wife wanted to start watching Drive to Survive, didn't you? Did you guys crush through it a bit or what?
We haven't. We did that first night, and then one of her friends told her to watch a documentary about like scary neighbors murdering people and that sort of thing. So we've
that sounds like fun.
Kind of been watching that, and it's been pretty busy. Like we haven't had much time aside from me watching the hockey games. There hasn't been much TV watching going on. We've been a little busy.
Is it that documentary on Netflix, The Worst Neighbors Ever?
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I mean, I like watching that stuff, but I gotta moderate how much I watch because then I just it just starts making me feel icky and like suspicious of everybody.
But yeah, Stakaz starts beating up his neighbors because he thinks that.
Yeah, they're out to
It
get
turns
me.
out you're the worst neighbor ever. All right, Chris Abbott's going to join us in just a little bit, so let's just dive right into what we got to talk about here. A few really good, an interesting story, a really impressive story, and then you get the Edmonton Oilers. They got Kulak and Brassard drawing into the lineup. Hernan Salas, what do we got to talk about, buddy?
Yeah, some new line combinations, and my buddy Lotai did not like them. The top line remains the same. They've been so damn good, but McLeod gets the bump up with Draisaitl, and Mr. Hyman shifts over to the right. That means Dusty's boy JP is on the third line with Nuge, and Derek Brassard will start on the wing, and then your fourth line, Devin Shore, will center Zach Kassian and Warren Fogle, meaning Derek Ryan and Josh Archibald will be out tonight, and along with Chris Russell with Tyson Berry playing with Kulak. I guess, guys, like I don't mind that line. I'm kind of intrigued by that third line with Brassard, Nuge, and JP. I like McLeod getting a bump into the top six. I'll be honest, it's nothing against Shore. I think he's played well, but I thought he'd be the odd man out. I thought they would play Josh Archibald, especially obviously because he can only play at home, but. Just your thoughts on the lines, guys. Do you like them? Are you a little surprised by who's left out? Or would you move some pieces around in the 12 that they have skating today?
Well, on your show, Dusty, I don't know, it might have been you who said this, that it's the first time in a while where you would have certain personnel in the Oilers lineup that are quite serviceable, not in the lineup that night. And I don't know if it's the best lineup that we've seen with the Oilers. But it definitely is it has the most experience it's had in, well, probably a decade here. So just to have other serviceable NHL players waiting in the wings to get in there, that's a luxury I don't think that the Oilers have had for a long time, but with their forward group anyways. So I'm excited to see what the two new guys can bring. I like the fact that that Coach Woodcroft does try to incorporate his guys into the lineup and distribute the minutes evenly. So it's going to be, from how it looks right now, it looks like a lot for the San Jose Sharks to handle.
Yeah, potentially. I like the depth. I'm excited to see Kulak. If
Cass, reconnect. Your mic's a little choppy there. You might have to reconnect back into the system. I'll chat quickly while you do that. I was very curious about who was going to come out because I think part of me was like, okay, well, it'll probably be Shore. You can leave Ryan in there as a right shot centerman and can take some faceoffs for you. But Shore has chipped in a little bit offensively lately, right? So he's Shore's kind of playing some of his better hockey of the season. So I kind of understand that. The Archibald Kassian thing, I guess with the way that they want to build this lineup right now, the Archibald Kassian thing, there's probably only room for one of them there. I'm interested to see Brassard, Nuge, and Jesse Puljujarvi. And McLeod's interesting. Like, he skates really well. He looks like he skates in the top six. Production hasn't necessarily been there, but it allows you to put Puljujarvi down on that line with Nuge and Hopkins. I was wondering if they would actually have gone back to Ryan, Nuge, and Fogle, which was a really good line there before Nuge and Hopkins got hurt, and they haven't gone back to it yet. In fact, they've got two different wingers with Nuge this time around. So it's very interesting. Look, I don't know. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I love it. I love it." I don't know if I love it, but I like the group of forwards they have now for sure. Cass, where do you come out on that?
Well, I like that there's a lot of depth. That's my favorite thing about this, is that there are options. It's not like when we're talking about options, we're talking about who you take out of the lineup and who's the best person to take out of the lineup, not who's the best to put in because we don't know what we have and there's not enough guys to be like, oh, well, I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that guy. It's like, no, you're taking a decent player and taking him out of the lineup. Maybe two decent players and taking them out of the lineup because you have more depth. So it's good. I'm excited to see. I said out of Kulak and Brassard, obviously, I'm excited to see Kulak a lot more. If he's a guy that can eat up some of Nurse's tough minutes and may make his job just so much easier. And if he can particularly play some of those tougher minutes on the penalty kill, And if he can make their penalty kill better from a backhand standpoint, then it's massive. So I'm excited to see Kulak, see what he can bring, hopefully stabilize this group a little bit more than they are right now.
Be interesting to see how it plays out tonight. I mean, this is a game that San Jose's 7th in the division. If you're going to continue to put yourself in a spot to track down the Los Angeles Kings, you got to take care of business in this one. They can get Calgary. You certainly should be up for that one. Arizona on Monday. I don't know what to expect in that game. And then you get the Kings on Wednesday, which is just a massive, massive playoff style game for the Edmonton Oilers. So really looking forward to that. Kane, Yamamoto, and Connor McDavid. McDavid's been put up the points, but it's been Kane and Yamamoto that have kind of really impressed as of late with their production levels. Gager, what are you seeing from Yamamoto just quickly before we get to a couple of other things we got to talk about before Chris Abbott slides in here? But what are you seeing from Yamamoto that has led to this significant uptick in production?
The one thing I've noticed he doesn't dust the puck off as much anymore. Like he's got the safety off and letting him buck. And that's really, I think that was a missing part of his game all the time, trying to make the perfect shot. Now he's just getting it on net and going from there. But really, I think Evander Kane has a lot to do with the physicality and emotional level of Yamamoto right now. Just knowing that if he engages and gets into those kind of scrums, he knows that there's someone there with him too. I mean, I'm not saying Connor doesn't, but he's not going to go in there and try to pull a guy out of the pile, I don't think, as much. And I think he's just playing with Evander Kane puts a couple inches once you start scoring goals and you have that offensive production, you start feeling better about yourself. But I love the fact that he's engaging with the other skill of the other top players, like that battle with McKinnon and going in against Makar and things like this. Like he's really becoming that what I hope to be kind of that Marchand type of player that people hate to play against, because he's running at 100% the whole time, and it's very annoying to play against.
And full credit to Cass. Cass, when did you brought up Evander Kane way before he was even on anyone's radar, and you're like the Oilers, and we were all kind of laughing. We're like, sure, but Cassian, Maddie, take a bow, because you were on to something there, because Kane's been awesome.
I brought him up when he hit waivers.
Okay.
I brought him up when he hit waivers. That's when I was just like, hey, the Oilers should start looking at a deal. And if they could get San Jose to retain a big chunk of the salary, like, you could be in a pretty good spot here. You relieve the San Jose Sharks of a significant cap hit and an issue, and then you get your top 6 guy. So, I mean, a little bit more of a tricky situation, I think, with the length at that point for the Oilers, but man, I'm happy they brought him in. He's been really, really good.
It's a good thing they
did a nice fit,
because he'd have about 40 goals by now if they brought him in that early, and he'd be completely unaffordable.
Yeah.
He might be unaffordable at this point anyway, but we'll see how that one sorts itself out. Chris Abbott's going to join us coming up here momentarily, but I do want to, because we can tie what Gager, what you want to talk about, we can tie into conversation with Chris Abbott as well. So, Gager, what do you want to talk about, buddy?
Well, I was kind of thinking and looking. I know I talked about the Hart Trophy a couple weeks ago, and seeing Cale Makar play yesterday or the other day against when the Oilers played the Avalanche. As a goalie, and I think I kind of explained it, it's playing against an offensive defenseman that commands the play is very difficult to play against, because you don't know if they're jumping in the play or standing back. And you saw how Makar was just almost like a rover at times. And I'm like, man, this guy's good. Like, he should be. That's a very for the most valuable player for the Avalanche. I was looking at Makar, but then, I mean, I was hearing these things about Josi and how this guy could be the first guy in years to reach 100 points, and how looking at him, like he's got 78 points right now in 62 games. He's over a point a game. He's probably going to reach that 100-point plateau. Just a phenomenal job. And I went to the Nashville game, and I think it might have been a little bit of an off game for him, but still, he had the puck on his stick for most of the game, and all their offense starts with him. All this talk about the Hart Trophy, I don't think there's a more valuable player on any team other than Roman Josi right now. If I did have a vote, looking at what he's done with that team and really with Nashville, kind of not really on anyone's radar from the beginning of the year, he would definitely be ahead of Toronto fans, way ahead of Austin Matthews as the Hart Trophy winner.
He's nuts. Like
Yeah.
to think that, like Roman Josi, like when he came into the league, he wasn't even technically an offensive defenseman, really. Like to think that Roman Josi is going to take a run at 100 points is just nuts.
He's seventh in NHL scoring, and then Gager, I was scrolling through Twitter yesterday, and they're like, Josi has more assists than McDavid. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I had
that
to
was
go
me.
look at it, and I was like, yeah. I was like, holy smokes! But I mean, this guy's just quality, and I agree with you, Gager. Makar, watching him on Monday, man, what a player! But yeah, Josi's going to be in the conversation, and I couldn't agree more with like he's probably the most valuable to his team if you're looking at the top 10 goal scorers, right? Like in the league, like. This guy's doing it on a team that is probably going to the playoffs in large part because of him.
Well, and just one more thing about him too. Like a lot of times with offensive defensemen, it's kind of they're one-dimensional, like offensive, right? But he's a mean prick to play against too. Like he's the full package, that guy.
Cass, did you want to get in on Josi?
Oh, I can't hear you, Cass.
Muted.
I think you're muted, Cass.
Yes.
Still can't hear you. I think he was going to call me out for saying Josi wasn't super offensive early in his career because he did have like 50 points like 4 years in. Back, Cass? Because if not, we'll bring in Chris Abbott. Mike's still
Maybe
not working.
he should switch to TELUS.
Yeah, I was going to say, Cass is rattled right now. Let's bring in Chris Abbott. We'll get Cass reconnected. I don't know what's going on with his mic. Abbott, but man, what's up with this? Is this a dress shirt you're wearing today? What is this?
Heard there were some job openings at 1260.
Don't worry, there's no job openings at 1260.
No, somebody else is going to do twice the work. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh, you look sharp, buddy.
Oh, that just says that I look like shit every other time. I just threw on a shirt with a collar.
No
But
comment.
Let's pump the brakes on Roman Josi or Cale Makar winning the Hart Trophy because I just did a quick check while we were talking here. Chris Pronger won in 2000, and some guy who plays for the Boston Bruins in 1972. They're the last two defensemen to win the Hart Trophy. It's like saying Cooper Kupp should have been the NFL MVP. Maybe he should have, but he wasn't. And there's no way.
You don't think if Roman Josi gets 100 points, he could be the Hart Trophy winner?
If you listed off all the NHL teams in the league, you'd forget Nashville sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. If Roman Josi wins the MVP, I'll eat my shoe because it's not happening.
Oh, let's save that clip.
Not happening.
Ooh.
You're right. It's probably not happening, but he's playing like he could. Like with the way that he's playing.
Not my argument. My argument isn't whether he's deserving of it. I'm just saying he ain't going to win it. And I stand to be, held up and made a fool of. But there's no way a defenseman from the Nashville Predators is getting the Hart Trophy. It's not happening.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can. There you are,
There we go.
Cass.
Okay,
Welcome back,
so
buddy.
Chris, yeah, I don't know what was happening. I just did a full reset, but Chris, I completely agree with you. And I'm just going to point out why I agree with you. I mean, first, Dusty, Roman Josi was always offensive. Get that garbage out of here. From the second he played in the league in the AHL, everyone was just like, oh boy, this guy, you got to watch this guy because he was in on every play, jumping in every rush, and that has not changed. It's just that he plays for Nashville. You don't hear about it. You don't think about it. You don't realize it.
That might be a good
Nashville,
example, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have a ton of super offensive forwards, so it mitigated to a certain extent what he was doing. However, he's not going to win it because he's from Nashville, and because if Austin Matthews played D, Austin Matthews would have 200 points as a defenseman. So, an achievement of 100 points means absolutely nothing. Further to that, if we're going to give it to a defenseman, have you guys not heard of Morgan Riley?
Oh, I didn't think you could take it to the next level, but you just did. So.
Listen,
Do you
Morgan
think-
Riley gets the Hart Trophy every year. He's I don't know if he's engaged, but his girl is like my dream girl. So he gets the Hart Trophy every year. Test of virtue, like Canada's sweetheart. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Good for him.
Do you think? I think he gets pushed for the Norse, like, because Makar is amazing. Adam Fox isn't that far behind Josi actually in points as well. There's always the Victor Hedman factor. He's having a huge season, but I just feel like if Roman Josi hits 90 points, which almost seems like a lock with the way he's been producing so far, 90 points has got to get the Norse for you, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I think that's a more realistic conversation for him. You know, and like we were saying, there's not that it's not heartworthy to do that. Like maybe he is the most valuable player to the Nashville Predators, but unfortunately, it will be a market thing. Mm-hmm. I think.
Too bad. He's probably got a big bonus for the Hart, though. His
nice
Hart bonus is probably about what, $300,000 or something. Probably.
I'd say that the team would put that in there, knowing that it's never going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the truth.
I would have got $250 if I won the Hart. I won it in the English Super League.
Yeah, what was that bonus like?
I got 6 extra cold Guinness.
For being the league MVP.
It's win-win. It's all right.
Don't you get your school paid for if you play in that league, though? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
No, but say, like I know that there's guys who played like say senior hockey or minor pro in Canada and did go over there, and that was part of their compensation package was like a degree.
Most of the guys that played in Sheffield did that. They went and got, I know a few guys that even got their masters.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so.
Chris, you get to use one word to describe Bieber and Austin Matthews and that relationship. What would it be?
One word?
Yeah.
Harmonious.
Harmonious. That's a good one.
Like
I was gonna say bros.
Like they deserve each other, right? Like in fairness, neither one of us could ever understand what their lives are like, and they can probably understand each other's lives a little bit more than most of the people that they have around them. So it does make sense to me. It's
a cute little bromance. I like it. You always see supporting each other. It's nice.
Yeah, I think it's good. The one that got me, they went to the UFC together in Phoenix, and it was funny, you know, when they do the UFC and they're like, oh, and Justin Bieber's here, and then there's like with his friend with a weird mustache, you know, like it was like, no, that's Austin Matthews, and he's wearing a pair of sweatpants, and but I always thought that was really funny when they Justin Bieber's here, and people are like, it's not Austin Matthews with him, but listen, I whatever, man, like Bieber's obviously a huge Leafs fan. I don't think he's bad for the game, right? Like I think the attention that is brought on it is good. I mean, I can't see them ever wearing that, you know, the yellow and black colors because they look like Boston uniforms. But I've seen some people over the last few days say like this can't be a bad thing, and I don't think it can be a bad thing either. I think anytime you can draw attention to the game from people who aren't, you know, the traditional hockey people, I think that's good. And the more I looked at those black uniforms, the more I liked them. I thought they were pretty sharp.
I thought they were gross.
Okay.
I like, they look cool. I like they want the Leafs to play a little bit tougher with them. Maybe it makes them feel tougher in those black unis, but the Leafs are blue and white. All right. That's it. Like, St. Paddy's Day, go green and white. But I felt like it was, the purist in me was a little bit upset at those jerseys. If I can,
they were a little Tampa-ish. With Tampa's black ones with the blue on it, but there's only so many colors too, right? Like, I get it.
They should be brown and yellow, but like not like a nice brown and yellow. It should be like a crunchy, gross brown and a crunchy, gross yellow, kind of like when the snow melts and you didn't rake the leaves underneath.
That's a mess.
Like those Bruins throwbacks, those Bruins.
Yeah, like that, except worse.
Like after I drank those 6 Guinness when I was MVP.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Pretty much, exactly. Chris, before I let you go, buddy, what are you betting tonight? What do you got in the NHL? What's the play over at Cool Bet?
I've got Tampa's money line against Boston. Oddly enough, we're talking about those two teams. Tampa was a slight underdog this morning, so I jumped on it. I think it's about a pick 'em right now, and Boston's got this run that they've been on, and they've got all these great stats over their last 10 games, but they haven't really been playing playoff teams. So I think maybe we're getting a pretty good price on Tampa, although. Who's to say? I always find like the day before, the day of, and the couple of days after the trading deadline are really hard to bet. We get some weird results. The team's either lost a bunch of guys, they're welcoming guys in, they realize that the GM just said, okay, shutting it down for the year, boys. We moved out our good players, so it's hard to do. And I think the other game I had was Florida -1.5 against Montreal. Like that seems like the mismatch of all mismatches tonight.
All right, so Habs win 4-2. That's usually how it works when we think like that, isn't it? That's usually how it seems. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Chris.
Then hey, we got the big soccer match tonight.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
What are you on there?
I mean, I bet on Canada, so something bad's probably going to happen. And
Not tonight.
Over 2. But I've also got tickets to the game on Sunday.
Nice.
So I'm really excited. I'm okay if they clinch it tonight and Sunday's a big party, or if they clinch it at BMO on Sunday, that would be pretty cool as well. But full-on soccer guy over here right now. Like, I don't know. I'm part of the group that's been swept up in this excitement. So I'm
You're not the only one in the country, buddy. We'll tell you that for sure. That's going to be a lot of us, I think, watching tonight.
Yeah, and cool bet. By the way, we may or may not have passes for 6 people for all of Canada's group stage matches at the World Cup that we'll be giving away throughout the rest of the year. So that's great news.
Yeah, that'll be awesome, buddy.
I thought you were going to say you had 6 tickets to the roast of Joaquin Gage that you were going to be giving away.
No, but send me an email and I'll buy those too.
We'll get that taken care of too. That's right. Chris, thanks a lot, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow on the Lock Shop, all right?
All right, guys. Have a great evening.
There you go. That is Chris Abbott from Coolbet. I'm glad he brought up the soccer game tonight because I wanted to talk about it when we figure out what he was betting on, and I'd forgot. So that's nice to see. You know what, boys? I talked about the new internet. I don't know if it's you, but am I delayed or are you guys delayed?
No, we're delayed.
We're delayed.
You guys are delayed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was just like, what are the odds? First episode, I'm like, we got this new internet. And then everybody ended up being delayed in the end. So I'll have to get that sorted out, you damn fast upload speed. Cass, what do we got to talk about? We got one more thing we want to talk about before we get kind of a laughable, frustrating situation, depending on who you are. But what do we got to talk about to wrap up?
Oh, well, I mean, I wanted to talk about the Dadanov trade and that whole situation. I know a lot of people have talked about it already, but to me, this just reeks. I mean, obviously it reeks of incompetence, but this just reeks like, of course it would happen with the Ottawa Senators. Of course it would happen with the Sens. And then the management all of a sudden goes, oh, he didn't submit his list on time. Like classic Ottawa Senators to do something ridiculous. They probably, when they traded him to Vegas, I guarantee you they were like, hey, he didn't submit his list on time. If you need to, you can trade him wherever you want. That's what they definitely said. 100%. That's what they said. And Vegas probably thought, when they traded for him, that they were going to be able to have the flexibility to move him anywhere if they need to. Absolutely, that's what they thought. They're like, oh, we're pulling a fast one on the rest of the league here with this. We can trade him wherever. No, they can't. But it just reeks of such horrible. Like, how do you not have that down somewhere? How do you not have that? And I know on the flip side with the NHL registry and everything that goes, like, how can you not have that done? Like, I know that there's like 50 contracts per team, but shouldn't you have this stuff like in your CRM, let's call it? Like big important details for each player's what's the deal with their contract, because there are differences in the contracts. Like, should you not have a list who has a no trade clause? Oh, this player, I should be able to click on this player's file and look at the contract and see, oh, he put in this year and this year and this year. And I don't know. It's just a ridiculous situation. It looks really, really bad. You know, we talk about, and people in Edmonton and all over sometimes talk about, oh, the CFL being this and being that. I mean, this is just a bad look for the NHL that you have a trade canceled because you had two teams that didn't understand that a player had a no move clause or a limited no trade clause rather. But it's just bad look. What do you guys think?
When I heard about all this, I felt like all the other teams in the league, it's like shining a light in a bunch of cockroaches because everyone was like, oh my God, like, would this have happened if we did this or this? So I don't think we'll see this again because this just woke everyone up to make sure that this basically doesn't ever happen again. But I love the memes of the one I like is the reversible Dadanov jersey that you can just turn inside out and go back and forth and stuff like that.
Was good.
But very, very unprofessional look for the NHL on this one. Mud in the face. And isn't it like I saw it's the anniversary of the Tim Peel mishap on the hot mic. So they got to do something about around this time of year. Things start going bad with the NHL.
Yeah, it's and poor guy. It must be so awkward. We didn't want you, but hey, we'll play you, I guess. Like, yeah, it's just what a mess.
Hopefully that happens with your new gig. And you get
Turns out you have to stay. Sorry, Hernan. That would be slightly awkward. So, from the National Hockey League perspective, I mean, this is a league where officiating sucks, and they're going to have a team playing in a 5,000-seat arena for a few years. So nothing really surprises me anymore around the National Hockey League. But as far as the busy deadline day goes, that was a frustrating moment for sure. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Big plans for the weekend, Gager. What do you got? What do you got going on, buddy? Well, I know what you're doing. You're watching Formula One TV around the clock.
You know exactly what I'll be watching practice. And I'll get it all set up. I'll show you my new setup that I've kind of put together for my viewing. The other thing is too, I was looking further down the schedule and I saw that the Australian race doesn't start until 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. So, that we might have to look to one of our hopefully sponsors in the future for maybe a viewing party.
I'd be in for that. That's a late start, but it's only an hour and a half. It'll be fine. Yeah. I'll be home by 1 o'clock. That's not bad.
Exactly.
Hernan, you must be prepping for the new gig this weekend, or what? Watching some soccer?
Yeah, soccer. The Battle of Alberta on Saturday should be great. Looking forward to that. And the race, and I'm glad it's at 11 a.m., not at 6 a.m. So, and Canada, again, if they don't get a result today, guys, they can qualify on Sunday. So I think I got plans with some of the boys here to watch that Sunday game. So, yeah, just relaxing. Maybe have a few brews.
That'll be nice. Maybe. Kaz, what are you up to, buddy? What do you got on the go?
Well, as of right now, my basement is a little moist. It's moist downstairs. My sump pump decided to break, and so we got it fixed and we caught it before stuff got too soggy. But there's still a little bit of that to deal with. So my first priority is going to be finishing that up. That's why I'm not in the office today. I'm like, well, I'll work from home, but I gotta take care of some of this stuff. So getting that stuff figured out, and if we can, then I might jet off to the mountains for a day or two.
Nice.
Take those out there and just have a little bit of a break. So that's the game plan right now. Give them something heading to spring break here. So.
That'll be nice. That'll be good. Yeah, I'm going to be gone. I'll be back in Cranbrook next week, but we'll still have 2 more episodes of Two Guys and a Goalie coming. Hernan Salas' final week with us next week here on Two Guys and a Goalie. Boys, enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy that Battle of Alberta. We'll break that bad boy down on Monday, and I will talk to you guys then, all right?
Have a good one,
see you, boys.